Hi everyone, it's Anne from Health Promotion Gagetown. This injury reduction strategy is on keeping a natural low back curve. Keeping a natural low back curve is especially important during lifting activities. Whether you're doing some yard work and you're lifting some bags of mulch, or you're at work and you're lifting sandbags or a jerry can, or you're in PT class and you're lifting a barbell. What does this natural low back curve look like? If you were to look at yourself from a side view, you should be able to draw roughly a straight line between your ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. If we were to look at this using a spine model, what you would see, so if I looked at this from a side position, you'd see a slight inward curve in the low back, outward curve in the middle back, and then another inward curve in the neck area. When your back is in this position, it's protected. A lot of times when people bend to pick something up, instead of hinging from their hips and keeping their spine in that neutral position, instead they end up flexing from their lower back. So they flex forward from their lower back instead of hinging from their hips. There's also a lot of popular core exercises out there that we get the same lower back flexion. An example would be a sit-up. Something that you can do at home if you want to see if you are either bending from your hips, so doing that hip hinge, or if you're flexing from your low back, is take a stick or broomstick or Swiffer, put that on your back so it's touching the back of your neck, in between your shoulder blades and at your hips, and then just bending forward as if you were going to pick something up. And if it stays touching all points of your back, then you're hinging from your hip, so good job. If it's not, what it would look like is the low part would come off of your back, and that means that you're flexing from your low back. What happens when you do repetitive movements where you lose that low back curve is you're increasing compression forces, and repetitively over time, that's going to increase your risk of developing a back injury. When you're selecting exercises to put into your training program, you want to pick exercises where you can keep that neutral spine. So an example would be a plank or a side plank or a bird dog. We can also change the way that we think about core training. So we don't spend all day of our jobs on the floor. So why would we only train core exercises on the floor? The exercises that we do on the floor, like a plank, side plank, bird dog, those are all great for building up our core endurance. But eventually we want to progress to more functional type exercises where we're practicing keeping our spine neutral while we're moving from our extremities, moving from our hips, moving from our shoulders. Examples of functional type exercises would be squatting, deadlifting, overhead pressing, any other kind of lifting. If you want more information on safe lifting or on alternate core exercises that you can put into your program, see your PSP fitness staff and stay tuned for our next tip.